I had 3 minutes left to decide. Claire was still sobbing beside me, trembling like a leaf. Her mouth was bleeding where the stitches tore. I didn't have time to explain what was happening. I didn't fully know myself. I held the timer in one hand, the lockbox in the other. On the wall, just above where she'd been chained, I noticed a fuse box, sloppily wired, almost like it was meant to be found. I opened it. 2 fuses, both labeled. One said upper level, the other, gas line detonator. This wasn't just a bomb, it was a choice. One fuse triggers the explosion, the other disarms it. If I chose wrong, either the building would go up with both of us in it, or Claire would go up alone, her chains rigged to something I couldn't see. He was watching, I knew it, somewhere. Claire clutched my sleeve. "Please," she whispered. I had less than 60 seconds, so I stopped thinking, and I cut both fuses at once. Nothing happened. Then the timer stopped at -01, and started counting upward. The box began to smoke. I grabbed Claire and ran. We barely made it to the stairwell before the lockbox burst into flames and shattered behind us. Downstairs, an exit door creaked open before I touched it. He wanted us out, alive. For now. Claire collapsed outside in the parking lot. I called in backup anonymously. They wouldn't trace the call, but she'd get help. I couldn't stay, not yet. I needed answers first. And I had a name. Claire said she was abducted 2 nights ago, by a man posing as a rideshare driver. She remembered his gloves, black leather, smooth voice. She said he made her read from a script before stitching her mouth closed, said it was part of the game, said I was the player. She wasn't chosen at random. No one ever is. I went home and spread the Polaroids across my wall. There were now 3, each had a unique signature, a clock reference, a coded message. This was a pattern. He was leaving clues for me to follow, but not just to find him. He wanted me to understand something. That's when I noticed the timestamp on one of the Polaroids, the one of me entering the alley in episode 2. It was taken 5 minutes before I arrived. Impossible, unless he knew my movements. Unless he was watching me before I even started playing. I checked my apartment for bugs, nothing obvious. Then I noticed the vent above my bookshelf, unscrewed it. Inside, a tiny camera, recently active. He had eyes on me the entire time. And there was something else, taped inside the vent. Another Polaroid. But this one didn't show a victim. It showed my daughter, Juliette, age 8, taken 3 years before she died. Her face covered in cake, smiling, missing one front tooth. On the back of the photo, a question scrawled in red marker. "Are you sure she died by accident?" I dropped the photo and heard my phone buzz. A new message from a blocked number. "Meet me, 11 p.m. St. Augustine Cemetery. Bring the picture." No signature. But I already knew who it was from. I'm heading there now. If he's really digging into my past, it means one thing. This game has just changed. And someone I buried might not be buried at all. Subscribe now so you don't miss episode 4. The Midnight Man is just getting started.